Hi, I'm Sarah and welcome to my 2-bedroom apartment in Toronto. So as you come in, you're greeted with an immediate staircase, which is pretty steep. So you come all the way up the stairs to our little entryway here, which is primarily about our dogs. We've got 2 dogs, Murphy and Norman. So we've got quite a big box of all the dog stuff. Yeah, otherwise just some shoe storage. We've got these 2 little stools that I got from the black market here in Toronto. And my favorite piece of the entryway in the apartment, I'd say, is these little paw prints that I found in the brick that I threw a frame over. And I think they're a cat, but I love it. I noticed it as soon as we moved in, and yeah, just really love to point it out every time someone comes to visit. We've also got a little tile here from one of our recent trips to Portugal that I threw a hook under that we can just hang our car keys and everything for easy access when we leave. So now I'll bring you guys into my bedroom. So as you come in, we've got 2 sinks. Thankfully, we're very lucky to have 2 sinks, one for each of us, but the piece de resistance is the massive shower that we have in our bedroom. Definitely a little weird getting used to having a shower in your bedroom when we first moved in about 3 years ago, especially because we both work and get up very early. So if someone ever has a day off and they want to try and sleep in, it can be a little bit difficult and disturbing during the morning when you're trying to take a shower, but it is amazing. We've got these 2 awesome skylights in here that the landlord put in, and with that, like with kind of both those being the showstopper, we wanted to keep it very light and airy in here. So there's not really any real decoration other than our bedside lamp and these 2 kind of lights flanking our classic IKEA bed, but we love it. So as you can see, the dogs sleep in bed with us. Yeah, this is definitely one of their favorite spots. Not only do we have a shower, but we are also really lucky to have a huge soaker tub. My husband is a big bath boy and so loves it. Yeah, especially in the winter. It's really nice and cozy in here once we're able to fill up the tub and light some candles. We're very lucky to have a washer and dryer in Toronto, but we also have quite a little bit of storage here. It's not looking the best right now, but it's yeah, storage just for all of our linens, our cleaning materials, laundry hampers, and a little ironing station, which is fantastic for yeah, just ironing stuff out really quickly. So we have no knobs in this house. All of our doors are sliding doors, which the dogs are now smart enough to nose open. So not a whole ton of privacy, but it's a definite space saver. So as we come over here, the last area in this section is our bathroom. It was originally just a white box that I got really quite bored with. So I wanted to keep in theme with navy, which is definitely a paint theme in the remainder of the house. So I painted the back wall navy, and I built a little shelf with some brackets just to house some plants and some candles. And then I got the classic IKEA light that I just put on the floor. We've got 2 of them actually over the course of the house. I love it in here. It's very cozy. It's a lot better than just a blank white box. So these are our only 2 closets in the house. We've got one for my husband and one for me. These came installed in the apartment by the landlord, who you'll hear me talk about him over the course of this tour, is, an angel, even though we do not know him. This is run by a property management company, which is great. But the landlord has, or did, live here for a long time and put a lot of work into this apartment. So we're very lucky to be kind of enjoying the fruits of his labor. Yeah, these 2 closets, really the only closet space for us. So we've really had to pare down all of our clothing options, but we do thankfully have the IKEA bed with the drawers that pull out. So we have a little bit of extra storage there. As we come into the back of the apartment, this is our lounge area and our office area. So we've got 2 massive built-in shelves that came with the apartment, which I really am struggling with, if I'm being honest. I've really focused a lot of my attention on the front of the apartment, but this back room is a little bit of a work in progress, but I am proud of some of the solutions that we've put in place. It's actually interesting, behind here, It's a pretty heavy slab of wood, so it's not really easy to move right now, but we have our electrical panel behind here. So it's nice that it doesn't take up a lot of visual space and we can kind of keep it covered up. Over here is some additional built-in shelving, but you'll notice I created a little bit more storage space for us by really DIYing this with some command strips and hair elastics. But behind this, we've just got additional storage for things that we don't necessarily need on a day-to-day. So right next to our storage area, this is my little work from home setup. I work from home 50% of the time, and I just really like to keep it plain and very clean and simple. I do not love just sitting at a desk all day. So I am grateful though that we can kind of look out onto my patio and just have a little bit of view of nature. So as we come along, obviously the dogs like to hang out in here with me during the day. And this is their couch. This is not a couch I'm keen on. You can see it's got a blanket over top of it for a reason. It came very stained, but the dogs absolutely love it and they will just sleep here all day with me while I'm working. So we use this area as a bit of a secondary living space. If we ever have any friends over and we're in the front room, one of us can come out and just watch some TV in here. We've got an additional fridge. We've got a bunch of alcohol stored in here so it doesn't clog up our regular fridge. And as you can see, a massive ladder that we keep here in the summer. We had a contractor come in about a year ago and he was working on the roof. And I was just chatting to him after and he said to me, did you know that this skylight, the frame has wheels on it? And I was like, okay, so we can actually push up the skylight and move it over and you can get onto the roof from here. So we thought that was super cool. We bought this extendable ladder and honestly, we never really go up there. So we're really lucky in Toronto to have some outdoor space. We are out here all the time in the summer and the dogs love being out here. So we've done quite a lot to it. We've got these, got these two massive sliding doors that we like to open all the way up. We've got a dog-friendly neighborhood, so there's quite a lot of dogs here. We've got a Walmart set of furniture that I got about a year ago. And yeah, this is kind of like the lounge space. Thankfully, really decorated with quite a lot of flowers. And we've realized we have a water hookup out here. So we've got just a hose that I'm able to use, make it really easy to keep a lot of plants out here. As well, I've hooked up all of these lights. This was an article light that I kind of turned into an outside light once we moved here, and it's really nice. At night we just can hang out here and yeah, keep it all illuminated. So as we come over, we've got, as I said, some great plants, but this is more of the smoking area if need be. We've really had a lot of signs passed down from my parents over the years that we've repurposed, and we love putting them up during the summer. And yeah, and one of the things that is a recent addition is this amazing pizza oven that we got as a wedding gift. I will be honest, it's really difficult to use. It's not very user friendly, but we are continuously trying and we've eaten a lot of gummy pizza over the years. We've also got these amazing curtains, which was also my husband's idea to put up. We're lucky to have patio space in Toronto, but as I'm sure anyone with open space would realize, it's not a lot of privacy. So by putting these curtains up, we're able to draw the curtains and have a lot more privacy out here. So as we come through out of the back room to the front, we've got our storage space. This is just a catch-all for literally everything that we have, for our winter coats, all of our extra storage, and it's quite messy. So we can just move past that and come on out. So as we pass the entryway and head towards the front, we're greeted with two more massive skylights. I think we have about 6 skylights in the apartment. We're super lucky to have all this bright sunlight. And with that, I put up these 2 plants. Probably been 8 months or close to a year at this point, and they have just exploded in growth. So they're really loving it here. So I just created these hanging planters by hanging a hook and nailing the hook into the brick wall upside down, and then just tossing it over the beams that they have here. So as I said, they're loving it, and it's nice to be able to have a little bit of greenery as you walk into the apartment. So then right across from this is our powder room. I really have not done as much as I would have wanted with this powder room. This is definitely my next project. I would love to ideally do like a really dark red paint or peel and stick tile, because there's a lot of dark colors throughout the apartment, which I would love to continue on. As we come into the living room, we've got our kind of dog area. This is where Norman loves to sleep, as you can see. And we also have a chalkboard that when we moved in was used originally for, you know, just your standard grocery lists. But yeah, over the years, we've just had everyone that comes into the apartment sign the chalkboard wall. So you guys will definitely have to sign your names before you leave. Yeah, it's nice just to have a history of everyone that we've hosted over the years.
We're going to pause the tour for just a moment as this part of the video is sponsored by Remitly. As you may know, our channel is based here in Toronto, but we travel a lot to find inspiring spaces in cities like New York. That means we're often managing money between Canadian and US dollars. Remitly is an app and website that helps you send money internationally. When sending money between the US and Canada via bank transfer, there are no transfer fees no matter how much we send, and they also have great exchange rates. Plus, the transfers are fast, and you get real-time updates so you can track your money right in the app. It's all very transparent. The app itself is also really easy to use and is trusted by millions of people worldwide. They also use secure transactions and offer 24/7 chat support, which gives us peace of mind when we're planning our trips. So for anyone who needs to send money internationally, we definitely recommend checking out Remitly. You can click the link in our description or scan the QR code on the screen and use our code INTERIORS to get a $30 discount on your first transfer of $100 or more. A huge thank you to Remitly for sponsoring this segment. Now let's get back to the tour.
So welcome to our living room. As you come in, the first thing that definitely grabs your eye is this massive couch that we got from Costco about 2 years ago. It's a modular couch and it is definitely the best purchase we've ever made. It's so comfortable. We can have friends sleep on it when they come and visit. We've slept on it, our dogs can sleep on it. Yeah, and it is fantastic. So we leave it in what we call bed mode all the time, unless we're hosting. And the only downside I would say is that we always have to have a blanket over top of it. Otherwise you will lose everything through the cracks in the modular seating. But otherwise, yeah, it's unbelievable. And as you can tell, we all love it. So as we come through, we've got a massive TV to fit the massive bed. And we actually, you can notice that we have a DVD player that we just bought the other day. The only thing we've watched on it so far is Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story, which is our absolute favorite movie and pretty much the only reason we bought the DVD player. So we've just got a media unit where I store a bunch of candles and just kind of display little trinkets that we've picked up over the years. But as we come along, this is one of my favorite areas, I'd say, in the apartment. We've kind of got two main focal points. Number one is the fireplace bookshelf that I made a couple years ago. At first, when we first moved in, I really wasn't sure what to do with this area. In the past, this fireplace was definitely a working fireplace. You can see a little bit of soot here, and I've reached my arm up inside before and it is covered in soot on the inside. It would have been great to have a working fireplace, but now that we don't, I definitely still wanted to, you know, highlight the cool feature of what used to be. So I made these bookshelves just by getting some scrap wood, sanding it, staining it, and yeah, it's, you know, probably gonna live in this apartment. Even if we move out, it'll stay here forever. So this area is our little incense candle corner. I actually found this TV on the street a couple years ago. It was already completely hollowed out. So I picked it up and I painted and cut a piece of wood to fill out the back. And now it's storage for a little Art Deco lamp and then the remainder of our DVDs. This is one of our recent purchases. It's a little octopus incense holder that we got from a recent trip in Hawaii. Yeah, we love it. We will burn incense just to use it. So then as we come over, we've got a beautiful bay window that is honestly the dog's spot. These are two IKEA chairs that the dogs love to sit in and watch the street, watch the comings and goings. But we also love to sit in here in the mornings, on the weekends, and just have a cup of coffee or, you know, watch some TikToks together. It's a really old building. These are very old windows, but I ended up painting the trim of the windows just a bright red for a pop of color. And I've had like dark green over the years, so it's pretty quick to change out if I need to. But the real thing that I love is these handmade flower boxes that I made. It's going on 2 years now, or 2 summers, I should say. We went on our honeymoon to Amsterdam last year at the beginning of the summer. And I just fell in love with the way that in Amsterdam, they have their windows open all the time. They've got flower boxes everywhere. And so when we got home, I immediately took out all the screens and all the windows, and I made these flower boxes and installed them. And I realized immediately that the reason they don't have screens in Amsterdam is because they have different bugs than we do. So the windows stay closed for the most part, except when I'm watering the plants, which are, yeah, just fantastic. They're just a little pop color, and I love having some nature at the front of the apartment as well as the back on the patio. Also in this area, I put up these IKEA shelves. I was kind of concerned that they were gonna block the light from the bay window and some of the skylights, but I really love the way they turned out. Just use them to show off, you know, some additional books, and we've got some candles, and also this light, the second of the classic IKEA lights in the apartment that I just command stripped to the corner over here, and I'm able to turn off and on pretty easily. So this is a bar cart. This is one of 2 bar carts in the apartment, and it just houses a little bit of our overflow for my husband's record collection, but it really serves to kind of bridge the gap on this column between the 2 windows. It's flanked by this big mirror that was probably the first thing I bought for this wall. Came in like a gaudy gold color, and I painted it, bright orange color. So I really like the way that it turned out. And yeah, something that I love and recently got on this bar cart is this bookcase that actually is a bar that you can open up. So I love it. I'm looking for something to do with it because we don't have a lot of hard liquor in the house, but it's definitely a conversation starter. So I'm really happy that we got it. As we come over, we've got another window with another flower box that I made. But what I love the most is this DIY bench that I made this winter that I saw on TikTok. People made a side table out of it, and I needed a bench. So I found someone who's just giving away a bunch of blocks on Facebook Marketplace for free. And I bought a sander and this wood, and yeah, it was certainly a labor of love trying to stain things outside in the winter in Canada, but it worked out. Yeah, and I lined it with an LED light strip, so it's cool. Yeah, we use it and keep it lit almost 100% of the time. So I'm really happy with the way that it turned out. So as you can see, this whole wall is a gallery wall. I am constantly adding to it. I really am one that doesn't like buying prints for the sake of buying prints. So pretty much everything on this wall means something to my husband and I. And I am, as I said, constantly adding to it, so much so that it is starting to bridge onto the brick wall over here. This is actually our most recent addition, I would say. There are 2 tiles, similar to the ones by the Entryway that we picked up in Portugal, that I hung with plate hangers, actually. Yeah, constantly loving to pick things up over the course of our travels. So this is our main bar cart area. My husband just offhandedly one day said he loved the look of a globe bar cart. And I went on Facebook Marketplace and immediately found someone who was selling one. We love it. It is some of our friends' favorite thing in our apartment. As you can see, we don't have too much alcohol on it right now, so it's a little bit of a display case for just our glassware and our old like vintage decanters. So as we come along, we've got these 3 or 4 actually shelves that came with the apartment. They're really mounted well onto the wall. So I just use this as a way just to display some, additional pictures, vases, trinkets. Specifically this massive Guinness poster is something that my husband picked up on a trip when he was much younger to Ireland. And he's had it for probably 15 or 16 years at this point. So really wanted to display that. I somehow snapped the IKEA plastic covering, so it is a little 3D moment over here. But then, yeah, as we come along, we've got just a variety of additional things, but one of my favorite pieces is this hand lamp, which I think is so cool, and I got from a Toronto shop called The Apartment Life a couple years ago, and I've never seen anything like it in real life. So definitely one of my most valuable objects in the apartment. So this is our dining area. I got this dining table off of Facebook Marketplace. It's an old IKEA dining table, and I love it because the arms come down when you need them to. There we go. So it's really helpful for space saving, if we ever need to shove everything to the side, but for the most part, we leave it all up. And I've got these mismatched chairs around, but the 2 cane chairs came from my husband's, findings on the street. Someone was just giving them away, and I love the look of these. But if anyone's actually ever sat in one of these cane chairs, you go straight through it. So after struggling with that for a little bit, I kind of DIY'd some cushions for each of them, which really is wooden planks screwed into the bottom with a cushion and a velvet covering on top. So I'm really happy with the way they turned out. You can feel a lot more secure when you're actually sitting on it. Yeah, and you're not gonna go straight through it. As we come over, this is an IKEA cabinet that we have really just designated as my husband's record collection. He loves to collect records. He has been doing it for years. And this is our record player, which was not a really great looking black, just Best Buy record player. So over the years, we just started adding on stickers of places we've been, things that we like, stores that we like, tattoo shops. So yeah, it's a real mismatch at this point, but I love the way that it looks, much more than just a plain record player. Also, the rest of this is just storage, but we never ended up putting the knobs on the IKEA piece as we were building it, and we just decided we really like the look of it. So we're just gonna leave it plain as is. And it's great because it serves as our like coffee table for the couch, because obviously the couch is so large we can't fit anything really in front of it. So this is great. You can just lean back and you know, put your plate or your drink on the side here. So also two big things in the living room in this area are these two massive skylights that we have, one above the dining room table and one above the living room. We absolutely love them. You know, it can get dark and gloomy all Canadian winter. So yeah, we have so much sunlight streaming through that we never have to use the big light, thank God. So we really rely on those, as well as all the various other lamps that we have over the apartment. So this is our kitchen. My husband spends the most time in here. He is an amazing cook, and he is definitely the cook in our household, even though I've been really getting into fried rice lately, and that is the extent of what I'm able to cook. But we love this kitchen. It's got pretty much everything you need. It's got quite a lot of storage here in these IKEA cabinets. The only issue is that because they've been here for so long, the hinges themselves sometimes work. So you got to be careful when you're opening them. Otherwise this will come down on your head, but it does provide us, you know, the majority of storage that we need. The only other thing other than the hinges is that these get absolutely covered in fingerprints over the course of the week. So I got to stay on top of cleaning them. For the most part, we absolutely love it. And we also love the PVC piping that forms the backsplash, which was such a surprise to us when we moved in. The only thing I know about the landlord is that he works in film, and you can kind of see some of those elements over the course of the apartment. So we've seen that past tenants have covered this up, but we absolutely love it. I think it's really unique, so we like to show it off. So above this as well, we kind of ran out of storage for our larger pieces and our heavier items. So my husband's family had given him an antique set of Le Creuset pots and pans that they've had over the years. And so he uses these all the time. And so because they're so classic, we love to show them off. And then we also just have a little bit of additional storage, but really trying to utilize the height of the ceilings in here. I'm not sure quite how tall they are, but yeah, we love just being able to look up and seeing everything in view. My name's Sarah. I live here with my partner Patrick and our two dogs, Murphy and Norman, and we've lived here for 3 years now. Yeah, and I want to say thank you guys very much for coming to our apartment. I hope you enjoyed the tour, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Do you want your space featured on one of our home tours? You can submit it using the link in the description below.